everyone. This is Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach for the small Jumpstart Your Dream Biz, a masterclass for aspiring entrepreneurs. Good evening, everyone. I am so pleased to have each and every one of you here with us tonight. Get yourselves comfortable. Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah. So thank you again for joining us on Jumpstart Your Dream Biz. This is our masterclass of aspiring entrepreneurs who are willing to jump off of their fear fences and get the confidence that they need so that they can jump. Yes. Hold on a second. I've got there we go. All righty. So listen, for today, for those of you who may not remember who I am Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach. And today we are getting ready to go into a special segment. So, as you may have recalled inside of your communications this week, we're going to be going through some apps. So, this is hands on. Make sure that you have a copy of, not a copy, rather. Get a computer and maybe your cell phone so that you can watch and follow along. This will be recorded as always, so you'll be able to go back as well. So, with that being said, we're going to go into biz tips, biz tools, the ABCs. And tonight I'm going to go through 3 of them with you. So get ready to follow along. Give us 1 second here. Some of us are still trying to log in. Hold on. All righty. Let me get us in situation, in position. So before we go into our biz tips, I wanted to give an opportunity for those of you, if you haven't had a chance to connect with me in your one-on-ones, I wanted to give everyone an opportunity just to have a little Q&A time. So if you have any questions, anything that's kind of going through your head, you're frustrated or confused, anything along those lines, I want to open up the mic for you to join the conversation and have that to do so. For those of you who are doing this through our e-course, you certainly can correspond with me via text or email or direct messaging inside of Facebook group. So always feel an ability to do that as well. Hold on 1 sec. And so if there isn't any, so again, if you have any questions, I can bring you into the live, invite you over, and you could be live, and we could do some one-on-ones. And or if you like, simply put your comments, text your information inside of the comment box, and I will be more than happy to provide information along those lines as well. So, and always know that as we're going to be going through tonight's session, you'll always have an opportunity to pause me, ask me some clarifying questions. I'm going to navigate slowly so that you guys can follow along. And again, I'm just going to go over some very basic components of each. You'll have an opportunity on your own time to do that as well. So do know that you'll have access to the resources. But I wanted you to at least establish your accounts today and then get an understanding as to why you're doing what you're doing. And that way you'll have a better sense for how you may want to utilize the resources as I have them shared with you. So do know that. Okay, I think one of my screens is not letting me share up in here. Okay. So that being said, let me get back here to my banners. Okay. Oops. Hey everyone, good to see everyone. All right, we are going to get started with biz tips, the ABCs of biz tips. And so what I really wanted to do with each and every one of you is get you to establish some very necessary and basic applications that you're going to be able to utilize inside of your businesses. Hold on one second. All right. Yay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you all. Like I said, for this particular segment, unlike the others, I want you to follow along because today I want you to be able to open up an account, navigate a little bit through it, and then think about how do you see putting these tools into practice when we think about your business operations and some of the systems and processes you're going to want to be putting together. So this is a little bit different, right? So again, get comfortable. Like I said, it'll be best if you can have a device like a laptop or a desktop and then have a tablet or a cell phone where you can watch along, because I'm going to be sharing my screen with you guys today, okay? All righty. Now, that being said, we're going to go over 3 applications this evening, and then I'm going to do a bonus session on Thursday for those who are taking this live. For those of you who are taking it through the e-course, you can just go on through. It'll just be part 2. So tonight is going to be part 1 of ABC's Biz Tools tips, and part 2 is going to be this coming Thursday. All right. So that being said, make sure I got mine here. So let's start with the A's. So the first A is going to be appointments. And you're finally thinking, okay, what does appointments have to do with my business? Well, I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why you may want to consider this. Now, again, this is just a way, not the way, but it is certainly a useful tool that you may want to consider. Now, I know some people may think that appointments would only be necessary for those who are in service-based businesses, but you still need to have an opportunity for your vendors, your partners, your sourcers who are giving you materials and stuff. You may need to connect with them, people you're doing business with. You want to have a means for people to connect with you and get on your schedule. And you want to do it in a way that's inviting. And also it saves you a lot of time. And one of the reasons why I say that is, you know how sometimes we coordinate, like, oh, what time can you be here? Oh, what kind of time is available for you? You can negate all of that simply having an appointment tool. So that's going to be our first one. Now, like I mentioned, I'm going to just go over here and I'm going to do a quick navigation inside of our Facebook group real quick. Give me 1 second. Let's get over there. All righty, let me share my screen with you guys. Nope. Turn it off. Okay. All righty. So let me take this down a notch to get more of the screen. Here you go. All right. So inside of our Facebook group, what I've done for you under Unit 4, you're going to find links. And simply clicking on each one of the links is going to take you to the website of that particular tool. Okay, so there's 4 in the folder. So let me just go through that real quickly with you guys. So what you'll notice is under Biz ABC's Part 1 inside of the Facebook group, okay, you're going to see one that's QuickBook, simple. There's a link there for QuickBooks, for bookkeeping. You're going to also see for communicating MailerLite. There's a link there for that. And then there's another one that's bookkeeping called Waves app. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm going to do both of them in a minute, but there's a link for that. We're going to go through that one. And then for appointments, we have Appointee, and there's a link to take you there for that. So we're going to go through each one of these particular tools. I'm going to give you a little purpose as far as what some of the benefits of it and why you may want to consider using it for your business. And then totally up to you whether you use it or not. And then, of course, these are free. So this is the other reason for doing it. Now, there is one caveat, and that is this. I try to always find you free tools or low-cost tools when you're first starting out because, we get scrappy at the beginning of starting a business, and I try to keep it real with you guys. And so there are great, great tools that are out there that do not cost a whole lot of money. And so, however, there are also some means of which there are just some total preferences. So I'm sharing with you, I'm saying that because in this particular case, when it comes to bookkeeping, um, I am a QuickBook user myself. I'm actually a QuickBook ambassador. So I help others to get using QuickBooks as a tool and implementing it into their businesses. However, there is another tool, which is what I'm going to kind of walk you through today because it is a no cost tool and it is Waves. And I actually kind of like it for a number of reasons. One is the freebie version. So I put both of them up there so you can navigate through both. But I'm going to get you at least started on the Waves tool for tonight for the bookkeeping for the B version of our ABC. So I just wanted you to know that. So while we're here inside of the Facebook group, I want you to go ahead and come on down to where you see appointments and click on the one for appointments, the link there, and then open it up. And while you're doing that, I'm going to switch back over to my screen, make sure I have any questions. And please, guys, just give me, if you have any questions, post them in the comments. I can bring you in live so I can hear your comments, and we can do face-to-face inside of our sessions as well. So feel free to ask any questions as we move along, okay? But the other thing too is I really try to find tools that are easy to navigate, easy to use, intended for you as a new person in the business, because you don't want to get caught up spending all your time using trying to learn a whole bunch of stuff. The lower the learning curve, the more you'll get out of it, and then you won't feel like you're stressing out. Because I don't need you stressing out when you're starting a new business. Okay? All right. So while you are opening that up, I'm going to switch out my screen real quick. And I'm going to take us to the new one. Okay, so you should be in the app for Appointee. Your screen's going to look a little different than mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up another screen because since I already have an account, it's going to look a little different than you know when you actually establishing yours. So go ahead and get started. Just follow the prompts to establishing your account. And in the meantime, I'm going to just pull up my screen real quick here, see if I can, might have to open it up in another browser. Give me 1 second, just so it doesn't have a, it does not have familiarity with me. Okay. So let me go here and share with you my other screen, and then this will be a little bit better. Just so you can, oh, wait a minute. I don't think I can on another browser. Okay, hold on. Oops, yeah, hold on 1 second. I can't get 2 different browsers at the same time, so. Oh, be nice. There we go. Okay. So I'll switch over to this one real quick while you guys are doing that. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So what you'll see, just as a note, as you guys are navigating through. So Appointee, there are lots of different scheduling applications out there. So this is just a way, not the way. I particularly like this one for a number of reasons. First one is price. So for instance, if I, you don't have to follow along with me on this, I'm just going to give you a quick run. But so there's very simple, transparent pricing. There's no contracts. You don't need a credit card. There's no obligations. And you can cancel at any time, even when you go that route. So what does that mean? That means that there is a free version, right? That's just what you guys are going to sign up for tonight. And then if you want to, because there are some features and functions that you may want to have access to that may require you to go to a paid version. But for the basics and for right now, since you're not really totally launching your business and you may not need all the fine features and functions, the free version is more than enough. Okay, but just know that you have an ability for the $19 version, the professional version, and the enterprise version. They always have little deals and stuff going on. So when those things do come up, I'll shoot those out to you and put them in the group as well. I currently subscribe. I actually got a deal when it was going. I think for the growth plan at one point. So there's always some deals that are taking place. So the free version allows you to have one staff, meaning yourself, and then up to 5 services, meaning that you're going to be able to set up services, and you're going to see what that looks like in a minute. So that's what that looks like going starting there. So if we wanted to, you can go straight through here to your sign up. And then it's simply going to ask you for a name. And I'm going to just call this one. Oh, no, I have another seat. And you're going to put in your country, wherever you're from. Right? And hit next. Is this supposed to be an email? That's what I thought. Okay. And nope, I forgot my name. Alrighty. And then you're going to create a username. And then you're going to create a password. And agree to the terms. And then get started for free. That was pretty simple, huh? Alrighty. Let that all marinate and go through. Hopefully that'll work for you. Now, because I'm going through a third-party streaming, my screen is going to operate a little slower than what you guys are getting. So just know that. Alrighty, let me just check on you guys in the comments. Alrighty. All right, so you should get a congratulations screen that looks something like this. Can I get a thumbs up from everyone if you've at least gotten this far without any trepidations or anything? Just give me a quick, yeah, I'm in, we're good. Or I don't know what the heck you doing, lady. Give me that too, if that's what you need. So I understand where everybody's level of comfort is at. But that was just really down and dirty how you can create a quick account, right? And what you're going to find is a part of that results screen is you're going to see that it's going to give you your URL. So this is the link that you get to share with your business partners, with your clients, with potential customers. If you're seeking information like that, you're going to have an opportunity to just copy and paste this over. So for right now, what you're able to do, you can simply highlight it, right? And then you can save it into your little notes. If you have a digital note tab app on your desktop, or the little, what do we used to call them? The stickies. I'm on a Mac, so, but copy and save it. You'll be able to get it inside of there too. So don't worry if you don't do it right away, okay? But this is what you're going to get in creating your account. This is what you'll share when you want somebody to say, hey, get on my calendar, just click here, okay? So that's how that works. Now you hit your next button. And you're going to bring you inside of the platform. You'll also be getting a confirmation email inside of your email, whatever one you signed up with. You're going to get a confirmation email through them as well, okay? And then you're going to get a simple screen, and it's going to ask you some basic questions. So let's just go through that real quick. And you'll notice that you're going to get a little pop-up. So there's a help feature. Let me tell you about their customer service because I think this is also one of the selling points for me. They are awesome about getting to you. If you have any questions or issues or anything along those lines, someone is usually always there in the middle of the night because I think they're in a different country, so that helps because of the time difference. So, but they're very very helpful. They answer your questions in a very timely fashion. They're very succinct and everything. So I really really appreciate customer service. So that's a double thumbs up for that. Okay. Um, I think I got. Okay, hold on a second. I don't know what my problem is. That's fine. Okay, there we go. Okay. So if you're going to be an individual or you're a business, so that means if you have a team, if you're a solo flyer for right now, you can always change later. So we'll just go solos for right now. By the way, in order to get rid of the pop up, just hit the X. You're good to go. Hit your next button. And then it's just going to ask, well, what type of services do you provide? So are you in the beauty business? Are you professional services? Are you into pet care, photography, maybe? Tutoring and education? There's a bunch. You can scroll, by the way. So there's a bunch of different ones. Administrative assistant, doctors, spiritual advice, like astrology. Ooh. Anyway, so if you don't seem to find something that's similar to you, then you can always just type it in here at the bottom. I'm just going to go here with professional services, okay, for my speak, and then it can dig down a little deeper. And so, what kind of would it be? So, I'll just say business consultant, okay, and then you just pick whichever works best for you. And then you're going to type in service title. So, what does this mean? So, what are the services that you would have people to make appointments for with or without being paid? Because you do have the option. Okay. So, what many people do in this particular app is I'll tell you what I do. When I do my power partner calls, those are kind of ad hoc calls and not a part of my um, packets that I do for my coaching package, right? These are just ad hoc calls, right? So I'm going to call this one a power prep call, right? You give it a name. You set a duration. So mine's just going to be for 55 minutes. And what's my rate for that? If it's a paid service, I'll put a fee there. If it's not a paid service, you can put zero. I'm going to put here $175. Okay. You also have the option for no price. Okay. And then you can add one more. So I want you to do one with a price and one without a price. Okay. So this one is going to be just an intro call. I'll make this one for 15 minutes and zero, no price. See how that worked? Alrighty, good. And so you will just do a price one. You can always delete these. So this is just play time right now. Okay. And then hit your next button. Then you want to ask, well, who works at the business? Now, why is this important? And in this particular case, it's just yourself. So you're there by default. But if you did have a team that would also be using kind of like this shared calendar and going in and finding and selecting someone. So as an example, I was on a mastermind group, and one of my colleagues there, she's in the mental health field. So, but she has psychiatrists and psychologists, right, that are on her team. So in her case, she's putting all of her team, she will be listing them here. So when a client comes on, they can either pick somebody specifically or based on the availability, only their names are going to show up. So it just kind of depends. But for one solopreneur freelancer for right now, just yourself is fine. Okay. And so you automatically see how it's automatically populated for you. If you want to put in a phone number, you can. And then you can change this to make yourself the manager. Got to be the boss. All right. Then you hit your next button. Then you're going to add your business hours to let people know when you're open for business. Why is this important? Because you want to be able to set up the parameters for when people will be able to see your calendar for availability. If you don't want to work on Tuesdays, then don't work on a Tuesday. Then that means you need to make Tuesday, take it off and uncheck it. Okay. You may only want to take calls on Mondays and Wednesdays and no Thursdays and no Fridays. That's your business hours. That's fine. Whatever you want your business hours to be. And again, these can all modify however you like. Then you hit your next button. And then your last thing. How do customers going to recognize your business? Now, the name of your business and if you have an address or not, which we're going to speak to as well. So this one is just going to be called Dr. Yam. It's just the name of my business for today. And then you're going to be able to say, well, where is it located? Now, they're just doing this for the sake of showing up on a Google map, because in some instances, some of us do have storefronts or have office settings, or you may have work out of a home office. So you can put as much detail as you want to for your business. So in this case, I could put here zip code of 32708 and just let that be that. And then what is your time zone? This is also important. Make sure you pick the proper time zone for where you live, because everyone is going to be looking at it by default on theirs, but yours got to coordinate with each other. Okay. So make sure you pick the proper time zone that you live in right now. Okay. And then you can hit your next button. Oops, I got to put in an address. Okay. 6318 Holland Boulevard. And no city. There we go. There we go. And hit next. Alrighty. So once you've done that, I'm checking on my peeps. Let me make sure. Any questions, any comments? Okay, we're good. Once you've accomplished that, there's a real quick guide. And again, a preview of your booking portal. So, okay, this is just to make sure you know exactly how you want to be or where you want to be for your customers. So you can preview your portal, and what your portal looks like is just click on it. So right now in your booking portal, here's a preview of your customer booking portal. So that means when a customer comes in, this is what they're going to see. Now, you have some controls and settings in the functions and features in the back end, but right now, those are those two that we just created, and that's what a customer is going to see. I can either book a power prep or I can do my intro call. So when you think about it from the standpoint of the type of business that you have, it could be for stylist, it could be for a psychologist, it could be for a yoga instructor, however you want to work it. You decide on the types of appointments people will be booking with you. Or just like keep it like a general one, like let's get to know each other, like that type of calls. You can call it whatever you want. And then what you're going to notice over here is that you also have an ability. This is that link again that we showed you earlier when you first established your account. Here's that again. If you want to, you can integrate on your website, meaning that you have an ability of taking that link and making a connection so that people can see this through your website. A little bit more advanced for today's discussion, but know the capacity that the system has is that you can integrate with your website. So you can come back to it later. Now, here, do you want customers to skip over services and on staff selections while booking? You can generate a specific type of a link for pre-selected details. So what I mean by that is you can decide if you want to create a link that's only going to be for you, them make an appointment with you versus if you had a team. So there's different ways in which you can manipulate your settings so that it was going to work best for you. Okay. Those are what these pieces are for you here. Okay. You can hit the little close button up here at the top and that'll take us back. And then like once you're happy with your portal and you have everything set up again, you have the ability to, again, connect with your website. You don't have to do that right now. But if you scroll down, you can configure appointee, again, contact set up a specialist now. So if you wanted to How do you want your staff to be set up? If there's more than one person, you can go down that road. And then here, make the portal yours. So here's where you're going to be able, once you've gotten your logo, which we talked about in our marketing and branding, right? Some of you may have already created your logo, or you're just kind of teetering and you haven't decided just yet. No pressure, but just know that you can personalize it so that it will reflect, it's going to reflect your business logo. So you can add a business logo and you can just upload a file here. I'm going to just do a quickie one. I don't know if I have. Yeah, I can just do this one real quick. So I'm going to pick a picture. I got my logos. There we go. Oops, nope. Wrong folder. Okay. I'm just going to pick this one for today. Okay. So you can pick your logo, put it up there. Now notice the size. So this is where it gets funky. If it doesn't fit, you have to resize it down a little bit. Sometimes you could just, so you can just adjust and make sure it fits inside of this little square when you get ready to do so. So you can zoom in and zoom out your logo. So once you get it done, then hit OK. Now your logo will show up on your landing page for the portal when your customers come in, okay? Now, understanding the toolbar. So here on the left-hand side, what you're going to see when you're inside of the application is that My Space is your default landing page, right? This is going to give you an overview of everything that's happening on your calendar. You'll see what that looks like in a minute because I'm going to demonstrate you mine. You then have a button here for your calendar. This is just going to give you a calendar view for you, what you're going to be able to look through. Also, that there's an ability when we get to the integration where you're going to synchronize your personal calendar that you keep all of your other appointments and you keep everything kind of coordinated. You want to connect that calendar, Google, Yahoo, Hotmail, Outlook, whatever that calendar is. You're wanting to connect it with this system because you don't want to overbook yourself or double book. This happens. You then have an opportunity for the dashboard. And inside of here, bird's eye view of your business gives you customer views, and it can keep track of your income, your revenues, things along those lines. You'll see all that in a minute. You also have a listing of your customers. So as new customers are adding and making appointments, it's keeping a contact list and generating that for you, which is really nice. Then you have your report. So this is also going to give you a better sense of keeping track on your data. So you have that opportunity as well. And then marketing, you have an ability where you can give gift certificates, you can generate email campaigns, you can even create coupons. So it's a really nice feature. This is one of the things I really like about the functions. Let me check our messages here. Okay. Thank you for joining. All righty. So where was I? So you have an ability, so some other really nice features and functions that are in here that can help you to get your branding and your awareness out there as well. And then here you have your settings. So this is all the back-end information and configuring your appointing account, which you'll see in a minute, but it's not hard to do it all. And then Marketplace is an opportunity for you to kind of extend the functionalities of Appointee by using some of the where you can kind of connect with third-party apps like PayPal. So that's kind of what the toolbar and how that is going to work for you. Okay. And we hit the got it button and we're going to go here. So now this is your dashboard, right? This is you can even change this picture back here if you like. So you have that ability. Right now, it's going to tell you as a default, enjoy your day. You don't have any appointments today, but if you did, they'd all be listed for you right here. You can also manually enter appointments too. So you have that. That's why the add appointment is there. So if you needed to go in and do something manual, so like maybe sometimes people are calling, it's like, oh, can you put me in? You could do that. So that's what that features function is for you here. And again, we're in the freebie. Your quick guide that we just went through is always available for you here at the bottom. And then you can change your background image here. So this one is just a default one. So any picture you want to create for yourself, or just, you can design it or just pick another image, you can do that. That's what this button for is for you for here. Okay. All right. Checking on here on my comments. All righty. We're good? All right. So again, here's that toolbar I just went over with you guys and everything that's here. So what I'm going to now do is I'm going to just switch over to my screen on my account because it's a little bit more established, and I can walk you through some of the things and how things look. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm going to flip over and go over to my other screen. Here we go. And go over here. And go over here. Let's see if this one is the right one. Nope, picked the wrong one. Hold on. Okay, where is mine? Hold on a second. I want to make sure. There it is. Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to. I don't know why I can't bring it up on my screen. Hold on. Stop sharing. Go to the other screen. Okay. I think let me make sure my screen is showing. Is that my screen showing? No, it's not. It's still not showing. Okay, hold on. I think I got to get out of here. I think it's stuck. So let me stop showing that one. Let me get out of it. Now let's try this one. All righty. There we go. There we go. All right. Should be good now. Let's see if this is showing up on you guys' screens. Okay. All righty. So here's my account, just so I give you a little quick view of that. So you notice how I changed the picture, so you can change it up to whatever you want. Couple of things. I'm going to work a little backwards. So I'm going to come back here to where it says Marketplace. So if you want to follow along, please do. You notice this is my name here. If you have multiple people in your business, then you might see the other names. So we're going to go first to Marketplace. The reason why I want to take you here is one of the nice things I like about this particular tool is that it has an ability for that pay for the functionality, and you can connect with PayPal. So you also authorized net is another one, but it's so you have that. You also have other third-party apps. Like here's the one that you're gonna need to do for your calendar. I have a Google Calendar, but if you have Outlook Calendar, this is how you're going to connect your calendars. Okay. The other ones, if you want to run for your if you're running apps, you have that ability here too. But for the most part, I do want you to go ahead and make your connections with your calendar. That's going to be your homework assignment. You don't need to do it right now, but circle back, make a note to yourselves. You want to connect your calendar that you keep all of your business. You should keep at least one primary calendar that you're putting all of your calendar types of appointment, personal or otherwise. Here's why. If you do not connect your calendar with this appointment, you're going to double book yourself, because this is going to block out any of the times you're not available. So, for instance, when anyone comes to my calendar and they wanted to book, go back here to my home. and they wanted to make an appointment, they're only going to see appointments that are available for a particular date and time, and other stuff are going to get blocked out. So if they picked it here and they chose this service, then they're going to want to see a select date and a time. Well, if there's nothing available or my dates are not available, they're not going to see those dates and times. See how this one is only showing dates and times, okay, that are available. And then you add a new customer. So this is how I was manually, but this is how it's synchronizing with my Google Calendar. Okay, so you do want to make that particular setting. It's going to be necessary for you guys. Okay, checking back here. Any questions? Okay. Okay, great. It's a little delayed, I think, for some strange reason with my page, so I do apologize, guys. Alrighty, so that's that part. Another functionality that you're going to notice in addition to PayPal, so if you want to receive your payments, because rule of thumb for those of you who are service-based businesses, people should be paying you in advance if they're booking any type of time allotment for you at a fee-based. They should be paying in advance, not afterwards. So this way, in order for them to book, they got to pay. Unless it's free, then they won't be prompted for the pay portion of it. So the PayPal piece is, I'm trying to remember if that comes with I think you may have to pay for the paid version for that when you're ready to do so. Okay. So calendar is your homework. Another feature function that you have here is using Square. So I don't know if any of you have ever used that particular device where you're able to take payments with a little swiper, and you can put it onto your cell phone and have that, and that's free too, but you have to pay the fee. So you can connect that account to this as well. So you have that as an option. I think, hold on one second. Another nice functionality of Appointee 2, before we move on, is there's the calendar ones. Here's your calendar, so you can synchronize. Here are your payways. So not only do you have PayPal, but you can use Stripe as another e-commerce tool. They're free. The only thing that is different is you're going to pay the credit card fee like you would anything else. There's a fee for everything, guys. So you have to put that into the cost of doing business, and you have to incorporate that into your pricing. So that will be that overhead cost like we talked about earlier. Okay. So just know these are the payment gateways that you have available that you can integrate. You also have an ability to add this link to your Facebook business page. So now you'll be able to, people can book straight from their page. So that's another good thing. Okay. And then you've got marketing features and functions. And hey, you can even schedule meetings, and then those are going to point from inside of here. And then you can link your Zoom account as well. So that when a person makes an appointment, they're automatically going to get the link to your Zoom meetings link and automatically show up there. So that's another nice functionality that you have. So if those are some tools that you're already using, this is the ways in which you're going to be able to make those connections. Okay. Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All righty. So that was down here under your marketplace. So go click over here to the settings knob real quick. And here under your settings, you're going to find your resources. This is where you're going to be able to fix your location if you need to. If you have multiple locations, you would do that here. You put your list for your staff. Here's, again, you can build out your services. you have as many as 5 for the free version. Okay. Each of the services, like here's the default one. You can give it a name. You're going to give a duration. You're going to give it a price if there's a max capacity. So here is if you're doing like I have group coaching, right? I'm only going to take 8 people in a group. So I can set the capacity because that means that I can take 7 people at that same time slot. That's how that works. And then do you want to make this visible or not in the big calendar for everyone to see? Or do you only want to be able to share that link with certain individuals? Because there's certain services, like I don't put my group link out on my public calendar. I make it invisible and I share the link privately with the people who have paid to be in the Facebook group, in the group coaching. Okay. So that's kind of how that works. Then you have here for your resources, if you need to, like for instance, if you have special rooms or like this case or equipment, you have that kind of functionality as well. And then here again for locations, if there's area codes, I haven't used this function, so I'll be honest with you, don't have a clue what it's really for. So don't use it. Don't worry about it. And then here goes again, your business hours. So as I had mentioned before in the demo, you have it set here for your days and your times, and you can set them all up. That this on Mondays you have certain different hours. You can make those hours however you want per person. So that's how that function works. And then here's your profile information, just like the stuff that you just set up before when we set up in here. You're good there. And then here again are your customer booking flow. So basically this is the workflow. They're going to first, when they get to that link that you sent them, they're going to pick their service. You get to tell them how you want that to be seen. They're going to view the services time on the booking portal, yes or no. Do you want to show the cost on the booking portal, yes or no? Sometimes it might be okay to show it. You might say, I don't want people to see sticker shock, but I'm worth it. Okay, so there's just settings and opportunities that you have for that. Okay, does it pad time in for appointments? Yes, so there is an opportunity. There is a setting that there is here. When you choose your, there's a setting there for intervals. And what that means is that, yes, you can say I need at least 15 or 30 minutes in between settings. So once one person makes a booking, it automatically puts the buffer in place. So the next person would have to be 30 minutes out from that next time. So that's how that works. I don't know where it is in which particular setting, but yes, there is a capability for that in the calendaring itself. So you do have that. Good question. So here in your staff options, again, do you want to have the members to be shown? Yes or no if you have a team. And again, availability here. This is like when showing the time intervals. This is what I was just talking about. So this is so that it's going to display and let the customers know if they don't know it's booked in time, but you can show it that way. And you can also strike out your book times, which is a good thing. I always say have them to show out as not as anything that's your busy time. It looks like you're busy, even if you're at the hair salon and you're not doing a customer, but to them it looks like, oh, she's busy. That's what you want to show. I'm a busy person. So you can strike out for book times and strike out for block times. And you can turn those on and off. And again, how the interface and the customer is going to see your calendar when they go to make their appointment. And then this is the other settings that you have there. Now, here's an important setting that I learned about a little later, but it's important to know. You know, you may have had this experience when you go into some of these sites and it's going to force you to create an account. You don't want to do that to your customers, okay? So you do want them to have a guest login, or they can or allow them to log in using their Facebook account or the Google login if they already haven't. They are not going to have an appointee one, so I mean they could, but don't force them to have it. And then you could just do a guest login, meaning that they don't need to have a login at all, which is usually what I have people to do. Okay, so they could just do that here. Okay, I think I'm in a funky account, so that's probably why I'm in there. Okay. So do know that. And then here, information that you're going to require of your customers. Again, minimum first name, last name, email, and a phone number. That's a requirement. You can't give me no phone number. We don't need to do business. Okay, let me check questions here. All righty. Okay. And confirmations. So there are some features of functions where you can send automatic emails to people so that they can see, like, when they get a confirmation, it's going to go to their email. You do have an ability, I think, in this particular app, I get them confused sometimes, where if they wanted to have it for text messaging or SMS, you can use a third-party app and add to it so that you can connect them through text messaging. So you have that as a function. And then here are some of those rules. So then you start getting to some of the nuances of rules and cancellations. So again, what you want to set. So for instance, if a person, because you may charge for cancellation, like you can't cancel an hour before your appointment because you just messed up my day. So you can set up all the lead time and how much in advance they can book too. So for instance, when I mentor kids, they only get to see 2 weeks out. I don't want nobody trying to book out 6 months in. No. So these are the types of settings for lead time and for cancellation times. You want to just, when you get the time and you circle back through, these are some of the settings. You just want to make sure before you go live that you put all those things into place. You have your payment, pay in full. Maybe there's a booking fee. You may charge an additional service fee. However you want to do it, you have all those things. If you need to collect the taxes, because you're going to have to pay for the taxes. Okay, so you have that. All righty. And if there's any booking restrictions, you have a lot of different scenarios and features and stuff that you may need to take into account. Anything that's not applicable to the free, they're going to tell you it's not with the free. So they're always going to try to upsell you. Okay. My thing is stick with free until you get to a point where it necessitates that. So I was with the free one and then I went to the paid one because I liked how I was able to just start to consolidate some things. So it was really helpful for me in that way. Then you have your notification settings. Here's again how they can do reoccurring bookings if they need to, depending on the types of services that you have. And if they want to do multiple. So some of my clients, when they buy a coaching package from me, they're going to get 5, they're going to get 10, that type of stuff. Then you have your notification settings. So you're going to get a reminder email. There's an SMS email. Again, you have to pay for the credits. It's real cheap. You can get like $5 and get like 100 text messages or something like that. So just know under notification settings, that's what you can kind of play with a little bit. But again, they can get an email reminder. You can get a text mail reminder. Then you can get automatic things that are going to come as soon as they book. And then you have your policies. So there's just generic ones that are there. Edit them to work for you, and you're fine. Okay. And then here you can do some customizing on your email. Some of them you may not have. Again, you may have the upgraded version. I must be in a different account. I keep making accounts when I'm training, so forgive me. Then you have some add-on features and functions and tools. And then you have an intake form, which is also a nice feature. So this, again, questions you might want to ask prior to them having their booking. You might want to get some clarifying questions from them, that kind of stuff. So those are nice to have and do. Okay. And then your look and your feel. How do you want that? Like I said, you can kind of customize that out a little bit. It's going to show you what this is going to look like. You can change colors and things like that, make it look cute, but that's it. Okay. And then again, you as customers are creating, you're going to have your customer list here. That's what the calendar for your contact thing is for here. And then you also can start tracking reports. So your number of appointments, length of time, types of appointments, what's making money, what's not making money, anything along those lines. So credit card charges is here as well. So it's very useful information that you can take advantage of. And then here under marketing, you can create gift certificates. You can do discount codes. This is another thing, because one of the things I was talking about with one of my coaching clients, he has of firearms training. So in his particular case, he would say like, if you book today, or if you, went with a booking, I'm gonna give you this code, and you can go onto the site and apply the code, and then it's going to give them a different pricing or different type of a discount. So you have that type of functionality here, and then you can even create an affiliate type of a program, or is this one for affiliates? Oh, or you get a link to be an affiliate. But here's offers and things along those lines. So Light's a nice, and this is kind of why I like it. It has lots of features and functions that I think you will be very useful for the types of businesses that some of you are using. Now, again, service or product based, it doesn't matter. I think having an appointment calendar, even if you wanted to talk with a potential partner, someone that you're going to book with or do business with, B2B, always good to have a calendar. Okay. All righty. So that's it for Appointee. I hope you found that to be helpful and useful. Circle back and play with it some more, but at least now you have an appointment tool that's all your own for your business. Okay. If you need to change the name of your business stuff, you can do that too. All righty. So I'm going to stop here. And okay, so that was A for appointments. So let's scoot on over. So now we're going to go into bookkeeping biz tools. And the reason I wanted to walk you through this in a simple fashion is, again, you need to keep order when it comes to your money and your bills and your invoicing. You need a centralized place for this to happen. Now, sure, you can use a spreadsheet. I don't particularly care for them, but if that's what you like to do, go for it. But there's some really useful tools out there that I think that you are going to enjoy. So I'm going to introduce you to this first one, which is called Wave. So if you go back into your Facebook group, in our Facebook group tools, in your units, you're going to see the link for Wave Financial Services for Business. And it's designed strictly just for you. So the reason why I chose this particular one is two reasons, really more like three. Number one, is free. Number two, it's easy. It's designed for people who are just starting out. It keeps things very simplified. And here's the other added value. They have a business banking, kind of like Ally banking. So they have their own banking for online, for business banking. You do need to have, remember, a business banking separate from your personal banking. So let's go ahead and open up Wave. So go ahead and click on the Waves app link and let it take you there. I'm going to switch over myself. And let me switch over. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm sorry. My cover state. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you were still in the Facebook group. So inside the Facebook group, click on the link for Waves link and we'll get that to open up. And I'm going to join you over into that tab real in a minute. Let's see here. Let me hit stop save and let's go into Waves. Share screen. All righty. Any questions before I move on to account bookkeeping? Okay, just keep the questions coming, guys, if you have any. All righty, so let's move on to Wave. So Wave, again, cool tool. There is, again, the free version is so useful that it's going to take a while before you're going to need to go to the paid version. But even the paid ain't that bad. Okay. But it is designed for entrepreneurs, for people just like you. And again, it's free. So you're simply going to be able, you can do one of two things. If you have a Google account, you can sign up through your Google account, or you can just sign up using an email and your password. But just as a quick overview, it's accounting software that's going to work just as hard for you. It's free. It's going to keep track of your income and your expenses. You're going to be able to track everything. And then there's also pieces. So when you get large and in charge, you can do payroll. You can do payments and then invoice. You can do like ACH types of payments out, things like that. That's in the paid version. So just know that what you're getting ready to get into is just the basic stuff, but it's, again, more than enough. Okay. And then, of course, you can do things like creating your invoices or your estimates. So for those of you who do custom work or you doing proposals and things like that, you can create your invoices nice and cute. And then again, payments, you can you can even do this one if you got a bill. You can do pay per use, so you don't have to subscribe, but you're able to make payments online, like and take credit card payments. You can do that through here as well. So that's another feature, kind of like PayPal, but you're going to be able to take payments and collect money, which is what you all want to do, right? Make money, take money. All right. And then you can run payroll, like I said, if you once you get to a larger capacity in your outsourcing, that's what this is for. Okay. So go ahead and create your account. I'm going to join you. Let me see if I can. This is going to ask you quite a few different questions. In fact, hold on one second. Hold on. I'm coming. Okay. No. What was the no for? Oh, no questions, no answers, no questions, no questions. Okay. All righty. So what I did is I'm going to show you, because I've already created an account and I don't want to create 10,000 of them. So hold on one sec. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here for a second so you can at least see that. I want you to go ahead and go through the prompts and to start the questions, and I'm going to share with you just a quick screen just so you can kind of go along, but follow the screen as you see it. But this is what you should be seeing on your screen. So give me 1 second to share my screen capture. I was able to do that. Okay, so when you first are creating your Wave account, okay, it's simply going to ask you about your name and your business. So you want to just put in your first name, your last name, the name of your business. You want to give them the type of business that you're going to do. And then, okay, it's going to already tell you that, looks like you're in the United States and you have US money. And you're probably saying, how do they know? It's because of the IP address that you're using for your internet source. So it knows on the back end that you're coming in through a US source. Okay, so answer those questions and then hit the next button. Once you've done that, your second step is simply to, what would you like to do in Waves? So you have a choice. You can send professional invoices, you can manage your accounting, or you can run effortless payroll, or you're not sure yet. For today, go ahead and click on where it says manage your accounting as your option, okay? Okay. Once you've done that, then you want to you'll be at step 3. And so here with your managing your account, you're going to just answer some basic questions. And these are all drop-down menus, okay? So if you're ready for accounting. So the first thing is going to ask you, well, how do you currently manage your accounting? If you just say, I haven't started yet, plain and simple there. Do you currently work with a bookkeeper or an accountant? No, I prefer to do this on my own. Do you run payroll? Only pay myself. Make sure you're paying yourself. We'll talk about that another day. And then what type of business do you have? So I have a limited liability sole source, okay, for tax reasons. And then the type of limited liability is single member LLC, okay? So that's what I have. When you establish yours, you can circle, and you can also change this, by the way. So just pick one for now and then get started with accounting, and then that'll take you into the system, okay? And then I will join you in the system. Let's see if it's going to be nice to me today. I think. And I'm coming to join you. Okay, let me switch out my screen. And we will do that. Here we go. All righty. So once you're in your account, you should land to get to your launch pad. Okay, so release all together. You can see my screen, okay? We should be good there. And so it just basically asks, well, what do you want to do today? Do you want to do some invoicing? Do you want to do some transactions and entering your stuff? Or do you want to do some payroll? So you can pick and choose. I simply want you to go over here to the left-hand panel for a moment, just so you can kind of get a quick navigation as to what does the service imply. Now, remember, I chose this particular one because it does come with a free version that's more than enough to get you started. And then you can go to a paid version or pay version, whatever is your choice. Or you may choose to want to use the QuickBooks. QuickBooks, however, does not have a free version. It may do a free trial, but then you're going to get sucked into starting with an account. And so rather than go down that road, start with Waves until you get a little bigger and stick with it. It's more than fine. And then you can or choose to go to QuickBooks because you may already have other tools that you're using. Okay. So there's that. And the basic, I think sometimes they change prices, but I think the QuickBook Simple is the first version because you don't need payroll. So QuickBooks Simple, and then it's QuickBooks Self-Employed. So there's two different ones. I was using Self-Employed for quite some time. I really liked it. And it's like $16 a month. If you go over to Simple, or there's a different version, it's like between $20 and $25 a month, something along those lines. But again, it's really a matter of preference. So I'll at least try to show you what's out there, and then you can make a decision however you want to do it, okay? So here on your dashboard, if we click on there real quick, what you're going to find here is an ability for you, if you wanted to, you're going to connect with your bank so that you can see your cash flow. So you can also take money in and get paid and accept payments for on the invoices that you create in the system. So you can set that part up. Notice here, you have Wave Money, which is basically their credit card version and their bank. So you can connect that as well. And this also having that connected with the Waves account makes it really, really integrated and really simple. So you have that as an option. And this is also for the banking, allows you to, it's free banking, which is another nice feature. Okay. But you can connect your banking account or your credit account with here, so you can do your profit and loss. And then you can start adding your customers and your vendors, and then it'll start to keep track of who owes you, if you owe them. See how it said bills you owe, invoices payable to you, then the money should be coming in. And then this is giving you a quick breakdown and an overview of your expenses. Okay, so that's simply what the dashboard does for you. And then once you get into here under sales, this is where you can create your invoice estimates, then make estimates into invoices, and then you can make reoccurring invoices. So for those of you like maybe having memberships or such, or they're buying something on a routine basis for auto refill, you have that there. And then you can do customer statements if necessary. So it gives you lots of features and functions at no cost. Then you can do your purchasing here again. If you have your bills or you're paying your vendors or your products and service, your materials and costs, all of that comes through here. Then under your accounting is, sorry, under accounting is where you can do your reconciling, you can do your transactions, all those features and functions are going to go into here. So I am not an accountant and I am not a bookkeeper, but I do know how to use some software. So it keeps me straight and narrow with my money. My bookkeeper, my accountant likes it when it comes down to me doing my taxes. I run a couple reports, I hand it over to them, and they're good to go. The most important thing I could tell you about digital bookkeeping is keeping track of your transactions. What I mean by that, every time you're making a purchase, you need to make sure those receipts that you're tracking them and entering them into your system. Otherwise, and it can get out of hand sometimes. I was doing a lot of traveling, so I was getting a lot of transactions, right? And so what I ended up doing, rather than trying to keep those paper receipts, because that was going to get on my nerves, is I decided to get one credit card and put anything and everything that had to do with the credit card, because I was going to pay cash anyway. But I got a credit card and it was simply for business only. Now, I did find a credit card that I could use that was also going to give me some points for like hotel or food. So there's Starbucks got a credit card, a Visa card, and Amex has a business card. So I was just using American Express. The reason why I chose American Express is because American Express are charge cards. They're not credit cards. So that means you pay it at the end of the month. That's going to make sure you don't get out of whack, because you're going to know I got to pay this at the end of the month. Otherwise, you're going to pay some really exorbitant fees. Okay. So get one credit card for your business and then put everything on that card. Or even it can even be a debit card, but still coming out of your banking. If you want to do it that way, that's fine too. Okay. But it eliminates you having to worry about credit, because you don't need receipts for anything under $75 for tax purposes. Okay. All righty. So enter your transactions, connect your bank, connect your credit cards. You can do your reconciliation in here. There's a little tutorial. There's lots of video tutorials in this whole thing. Once you get through everything, here's your chart of accounts. Again, it's a bookkeeper, it's an accountant thing. They'll run the reports. They'll just tell you what you need. It automatically going to populate anyway. But these are basically all of the different categories and stuff that you can code with, okay, for your transactions. But sometimes if you're connecting with your credit cards, it's going to automatically tag your transactions and kind of code them to say, oh, you went to McDonald's, that must have been for a meal. And it'll automatically know that. If you went to Office Depot, office supplies, it would know that. So that's the other nice thing about using everything on the card, is because the transactions can automatically get coded for you in your bookkeeping system. It works the same with QuickBooks as well, because they know all these different businesses and what their basic intent is, and they can automatically code it. You can override it, obviously, but that's what it's for. Okay. And then again, here's your banking. And so you can connect your banks. Should be giving you a prompt here if you want to open up a Waves account. And you can do that here somewhere. It pops up on your screen. You may have it already because I already set up my account, so you may already have seen it. So check it out. I think it's worthwhile, honestly. Otherwise, if you have another business banking account, not your personal business banking account, you can connect it here. It tells you all the big guys, and then just type in the name of the bank, because I got a credit union. I don't use none of these. I use credit union. By the way, credit unions, you can have business banking at credit unions. Did you know that? Free business banking. Okay, so Give it a try. Trying to see on the payouts. Okay, so here again, if you want to accept forms of payment, you can turn that on, and you can use it on a per purchase basis and not have to pay go to the paid version. That's what this is for. But it tells you it's very similar in the fees. And then I also have a business buddy of mine that does this type of transactions and can hook you up with some other fees that are not as exorbitant as this. So there's a way to do it. So I learned something in myself. Abraham is the guy, and this is what he does all day. So he helps businesses set up their merchant account. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll be more than happy to set them up. And we're going to do a webinar anyway, and then you'll have it in a recording for later. But then again, you also have ACH payments that you can take as well. So see how robust this is? It's like, really? Free? Yeah, I know, right? And then you also can get a wave advisors. So this is basically the helpers that you have in the system. So you can ask questions. There's people who can, I think they can do some live Q&A too, and some chat functionality and things along those lines. So, and they also have accounting services. So if you wanted to hire like a bookkeeper and stuff, that because they know the system, you can connect with them. So here is the way you can do this. You can hire a wave advisor. So this is somebody who can kind of help you out. If you think you're having some like unique situations with your business entities and things, then you can connect with them. And they can help you set up your stuff. So QuickBooks does something very similar as well. Okay. And then at the bottom, you have your integrations. So here again, you can bring in your Google Sheets. If you want to pull things in, here's some other third-party applications that you could do some synchronizations with. If you were doing some website e-commerce and you want to bring that information in and over, those are some advanced features and functions. Okay. Oh, look, see? Appointment scheduling. That's what I was talking about. How that money in those transactions, you can sync them in over here. So they have some of these are already kind of set up. These are different other calendars that you may want to take into account as well. Candly is one, Acuity is another. I still think Appointee is the better one. Alrighty, so that is that in a nutshell. So hopefully, when you down at the very bottom, the last one is settings. And so again, here's how you can customize your invoices, how you want to make them look, your receipts, just all the nitty-gritty details and setting things up. Your profile, your tax information, all that kind of goes back in here under your settings. Okay, so that's another kind of homework assignment. You may not take this in right now, but just know that it's a great tool to get you started. Bookmark it, save it so you can go back to it later. Any questions on this as a possible tool to keep your money straight? All righty. Oh, goodness. All right. So that was the B in this bookkeeping for the ABCs. Let's get you over. So let's take 30 seconds. Let's just take a 30-second kind of breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, that was a lot. Wow, we covered a lot of information. Hope that wasn't too much for you guys, but remember, you can always circle back. But this is just going to give you a little bit of the gist of, we talked so much about already your pricing, your minimum viable product, your unique viable purpose, your pricing, costs, expenses, your purpose, bringing all these things together And so you got to start thinking about how are you operationalizing things now that you're going to start your business. How is this all going to look and function on a day-to-day basis? And so appointments and bookkeeping, and I think we're doing communicating are those key factors that are going to help you to keep your day-to-day kind of running as smooth as possible. Remember, you're going to be wearing lots of hats as an entrepreneur, solopreneur, freelancer. And so it's going to be important that you wear that hat straight so that you don't feel overwhelmed at times. So these are just things for you to kind of circle back on. With that said, let's talk about communicating tools. So when I talk about C for communicating under the biz tools, there's two C's, right? There's communicating and there's connecting. So today we're talking about communicating. And what I wanted to take you through is communicating in the form of how are you going to be communicating with your customers? And you're going to need a tool for that. So the tool I'm going to introduce you guys to today, if you go back into your Facebook tab, open that back up. Let's go over there real quick. Let me show you. All right. So in our Facebook group, inside of Unit 4, you're going to see a tab for communicating, right? And you're going to see a link there. It is called bit.ly MailerLite.yam. Go ahead and click on that. And it's going to take you to MailerLite. And I'm going to meet you over there in a second. Give me 1 second to switch over screens real quick. Alrighty. So everyone should get to a screen that looks similar to this. This is the MailerLite homepage. So email automation is the name of the game. So when we think about email automation, we're talking about how am I going to send correspondences to potential customers as well as current customers. And what tool would I use? I also have an ability not only to do that, but I can also use my email marketing for other levels of marketing, or what we call sales funnels, which I'll show you. But for today's purposes, I simply want you to create the account and understand the features and functions of what MailerLite has to offer. And then we're going to circle back to take you through setting up your first newsletter or email campaign. Okay. So once you're all at the MailerLite screen, you should all be there by now. I'm going to join you. Let me get over to the screen. And you're going to go ahead and do a sign up. So before I say that, let me say this. So this is free. So this is a free account. It's free up until you get your first 1,000 people. After you get your first 1,000 people, then there's a fee. There's also a $10 a month fee if you want to use some of their functions after you do so many, like there's a limit to the number of landing pages that you can do. So just know that. So at best, it's $10 a month. Okay, you can't get better than that. And they're just continuing to features and functions and adding things. So I'm going to be like, I am the MailerLite queen. So anyway, let me just give you a quick overview of some of the features and functions for a quick second. So again, when we think about email marketing, we're talking about email campaigns when you're sending emails out, landing pages, enabling you to grow that email list by creating a place where people are going to see a product or a service and want to opt in and take it. Okay. And then you have pop-ups. Pop-ups are going to be things that are going to appear on your web page that you may have experienced yourself. You get to a website and you just mind your own business and you're reading and something pops up on the screen. right? It gives you a little offer. That's a pop-up. You have automations. Automations are, okay, now that that pop-up came up and that person said, yeah, I want to join your newsletter. Okay, then what? You got to start communicating with them. And then you don't want to have to sit there and have to type an individual email for each person, right? You can automate this process, and that's what automations allows you to do. I can take a series of a group of people through a series of emails automated. So as soon as they come in, they're going to get an email. 3 days later, they get an email. Then on the 5th day, they get a different email. Then they get something else. Then they get something else. And you can continue that automation for as long as you can go. And then there's all these other features and functions that kind of go along with it. That's automations. The system also has an ability, if you want to get feedback by way of doing surveys, and you can embed those on your web pages as well. So it's a lot, and they offer a lot. So it's designed for small business entrepreneurs. They keep it really simple, which is why I like it, because I'm the Keep It Simple coach. And again, it's free. And then you got you have some pricing stuff here. Like I said, it's free for the first 1,000. Then it's like where you can just pay the $10 and get unlimited. I don't know, kind of a no-brainer if you ask me. $10 unlimited for the first 1,000, and then you just go in. So that's pretty much what the pricing is for, just so you know how that all works. And again, customer service really, really good, very responsive. They answer your questions, and you're in and out real like quick and easy. Okay, so go ahead and click on the sign up button if you haven't already done so. You're going to go ahead and click on the sign up button, and then answer a couple of quick questions. They're not going to ask you for a credit card or nothing like that. Just going to ask you what's the name of your company, the email address, and the password that you want to create and log in at. Okay. And then you're just going to create an account and you're in. It's real simple. So go ahead and answer those 3 questions, create your account, and I'm going to meet you on the inside because I got to log in. This is one of my customers, so I can't do that one. Stop my screen real quick. Any questions, you guys? Okay. Let me now open up my account. All right, let me share my screen. I got a demo one since, okay, here we go. Hold on. Oh, go into Facebook, under Facebook group, under units, and you're going to see the link for communication under unit 4. Okay. Let me share my screen real quick. See here in the units, come under where it says unit 4, and you're going to click on MailerLite, communications. Okay. And click on that link. Okay. Oops, right here. You should see this. Okay. See if that works. Sorry, guys. Alrighty. So let's go back to, let me unstop there, and let's go into MailerLite, and then, okay, so I'm going to take you into my demo account. All right. So this is what's going to happen. Even though you're going to get the free version, they're going to give you everything as if it were the premium version for the $10 for the first 2 weeks. So after that, you're going to get a little screen to say, oh, your Primo's up. You want to do that. But I think it's worth it. Once you're ready to start doing email correspondence, pay the $10. I think it's well worth it. I haven't found any tool that matches it for this price. I'm just telling you now. Okay. So let's go through it real quick. Up at the very top, what you're going to find, hold on 1 second, let me make sure my screen is showing, and it's not. Hold on. Here we go. Sorry about that. Here we go. All righty. So when you first log on, like I said, you're going to get into the screen here. So if everyone can see their own dashboard, let me know in the comments. Can you see your own screen in the dashboards in your new account? Okay. Silence means consensus. Okay. All righty. So now that we're in the dashboard, let me give you a quick overview. And so the dashboard is going to give you a quick overview as far as how many subscribers you have, the type of plan that you're currently subscribed to, your subscriber growth. You're going to get some data that's going to keep growing and growing and growing, right? And then you're going to get the number of automations that you may have already have set up or in play, the number of forms that you currently have, and then the ones that were signed up on those forms. So this just gives you a dashboard view of the dynamics that are taking place with respect to your email automation, okay? The first tab at the top in your menu is campaigns. A campaign is simply another way of saying an email broadcast. I want to send an email to a group of people. That is what a campaign is, okay? So I want you to think about the people who you want, that you got names from an event, and they now are going to be a group of people who you're going to send a weekly newsletter to keep them abreast of what's taking place in your business. You all get emails from me, right? You get your weekly newsletters, updates, things like that. That's what you're getting from me, and I'm using MailerLite. Now, there's actually a couple of different types of email campaigns. Now, let me also preface by saying this. I'm just doing a walkthrough today. There is tons and tons of video tutorials in here. There's text tutorials. You can come right here to this question mark, click on it. If you have a choice, you can either go through, and based on where you are, it's automatically going to give you some recommendations, okay? Or you can type up here for some suggestions. You can browse through the library. You can do the contact us, or you can find an expert like me, but you're going to have to pay. So here again, if you find something like this to say how to avoid duplicate emails, right? There's information in the form of a text, and if that works for you. If, however, that doesn't work for you, you can hit the contact us button. If it's a question about a feature or function, you can send it everything in an email. They're really good about getting right back to you. There is a live feature function somewhere in here. I don't know why I'm not seeing it here on this particular screen. It might be because I'm inside of something. Sometimes it appears and sometimes it doesn't. But just know that there's lots of features and functions and help that you have available, okay? All righty. Now, that being said, over here where you see create campaigns, you hit the down arrow. So this is where prior planning prevents poor I forget the other P. There's another P for the 5 Ps. But anyway, it's always good to plan first before you start entering into this dynamic. And the reason for that is there's 4 different types of ways in which you're going to send out a campaign. A regular one is just that. It's going to be like an email like you do in Google or Outlook. It's just that it's going to be sent to a group of people and not just one person. Okay. Which you can do inside of Google and Outlook, but you have to know everybody's email address, or you create groups inside of your email contact list. But we're not doing that. This is email marketing. So what you want to do here is there's a regular, then there's what they call A/B split campaign. What is that? That means that I could kind of do a test, like a data testing. And I can test one group to get an email and see how that works. And I can send half of the group another email, see how that works. Isn't that cool? So from a marketing perspective, that is what you want to be able to do sometimes. I want to test the waters. I want to know whether or not, if this subgroup of people, when they got this email, how did they behave versus this subgroup of people with this email? Because then that would tell me whether or not I want to continue to use it and if it's worthy or not. So A/B split testing is an option. Then you can do what they call auto resend campaign. This is cool. For some of you who don't open up my email like you should, no, just kidding. But let's say, for instance, I wanted to send out a correspondence and then only, 52% of you opened it up in the first 24 hours. I could, knowing that that's the potential for that, I could set up a setting that says, okay, if after 42 hours, the person has not opened up the email, I want to resend that email, but I might want to change the subject line. I may want to add some cover, populate some text above the initial email, original email. So there's different ways that I can do it. I can send it on a particular date and time. Okay. That's what auto resend campaign is. The reason why I'm telling you this now is you have to know ahead of time before you start going down that road. Okay. I happen to get into the habit when I'm doing my newsletters to send auto resend campaigns as a default for me personally. Now, RSS campaigns are a little bit more advanced. I don't know enough about it just yet, so I'm not going to even go there with you today. So I'm just keeping it real. Okay, questions? Setting up profile can't get past request approval. Oh, okay. I got you. So I got you. So this is what's happening. If you start setting up your account and you're not getting past the request approval, it's because it's got to verify that you have your web address. I forgot. So it's going to verify that you have a website already established. So you probably won't get it approved before then. They're real funky about that. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of the features and functions. And then next week, when you guys should be ready to start deciding about where do you want to plant your website presence, then you can confirm all of that. So it's just sitting in the queue until they can confirm that you have a real website. Because what they don't want you to do is they don't want you to be a spammer and just making random emails and stuff coming out of their system. So I do apologize for that inconvenience, but I'm going to walk you through some of the features and functions, and that way you can at least see what you have in store. So I apologize for that. I keep forgetting that there's that secondary layer that they have for you. So I apologize. So I'll be brief in with respect to it, just so you can understand some functionality of the platform itself for the sake of today. Okay. And then when you get on a one-on-one with me, I'll be more than happy to get you through as far as the stuff for your website when you're ready. So here again, so campaigns is just that. You're able to create a campaign, a basic newsletter, an email. You then have templates. So the first thing it's going to always ask you is the subject line first. It's kind of like giving it a name, a file name. Okay. So here we would just call it test 1. And then who is it from? It's from my business, and here's the email address. It automatically populates, and then which language do you want to have it to be used for unsubscribing? English. So I hit my content is my next step. So under the content is where you're going to have templates. So they have some created, some already for you. You either want to do a drag and drop editor, or you can do a rich text editor. You can do the old legacy one, and then you can do HTML coding, which you're not going to do that. So the drag and drop editor is if you wanted to start from scratch, blank. Okay. Click over here, then you have your template gallery. And here you have some layouts that are already available. Oh, so they just see how they just switched this. They didn't have this here before, so now they switched it. So you can't get to the templates anymore. They used to have the templates. Now you can't have access to the templates unless you go with a $10 paid version. Okay, that's why you can use the blocks and you can build them out from here. I mean, I'm in my temporary account, so I probably can't do that either. That's okay. I just wanted you to know, so these are templates. You can do a preview. And then you can build this out yourself personally. So here's just a basic template of a newsletter. It could be an offer, what's on sale. It can be as pretty and cute as you want. There's different types. Like this is one that's layout if you're doing a subscription. I'm going to just do one that's just going to be like a newsletter. Let me just pull up one so you can kind of see what that looks like. But you can do everything here if you just want to send out a quick quiz. You want to feature a product, depending on, again, the type of service. You even have an email like after a purchase. So they have things that are kind of natural for the use of the type of business interfaces that you would do. Here's one that's just going to be like a company newsletter, right? So you can, I'm going to preview that so you can kind of see. It's just a template, so it gives you an idea. Then you can start changing out the features and functions that they have available. I think I'm going to have to switch out to my other account. And then you can go in and edit and change it. So let me do that, guys. I apologize. Let me stop. Oh, I don't have to stop. I just need to log out of here and go to a new account. Another nice feature is that because I work in a couple different things, I can jump in and out of accounts. Okay. All right. So under the campaigns, I may want to create a new one, like I said earlier. And then I can choose to go to a template. I'm going to call this one Jump 1. I can choose my content. Notice up here that A/B split, auto resend. So depending on the type that you want to do, you can choose it from there as well. But once you go into content mode, for at least they keep tweaking. So I wish that you had the ability to switch it up if you could, if you wanted to. They don't have it like that just yet, but they will. So here again is the template gallery. Best place to start when you're first starting because it won't take you so much time. Okay. So again, you can pick any one of these different layouts and they keep adding new ones. Okay. So here's the company news. And then there's some others here. There's news and updates. There's if you have a book featuring a book or an author. Again, if you're in the fashion industry, then you might be a lot more visually appealing things for your products and stuff. But they're always adding and refining all the time. So like here's one that's the weekly newsletter, right? Or you can even do one that's a layout for a webinar. So there's quite a few different things to do. So I'm going to go here with the weekly news. You can always do a preview before you choose. So you can do that. And then I'm just going to hit use this template. And so I want you to think about it in the same way that you kind of use Word and PowerPoint, kind of bring those two together. And that's essentially what you're doing here. Kind of, and maybe even a little bit of like bringing the Canva element into here. But you're creating a correspondence that you're going to send out to a group of people um, in mass order. Sometimes we call it broadcasting emails, or in this case, they call it a campaign. Hopefully, it's not going to take forever. So once you're inside of a template, because I already have mine defaulted to set up for a logo, it automatically populated my logo. And then it took the template here. And now I can switch out the text and tweak it however I like. You're going to use what they call like building blocks over here on this side. And so I can add here. I can say, well, I don't want this, so I can delete it. I simply want to edit the text. So I can come over here. I can change this to be no feature. I can change my text here. You're just editing. You can change out pictures. The nice thing too about the pictures is that you can click on the delete, hit the browse, and then you have an ability to upload pictures, or you could use pictures from your Google Drive. You can connect to here. You can also use Unsplash, which is the free pictures, and then, or you can use a Giphy. I'm a Giphy girl, so I like to keep mine light and bright. So, but whatever is your style. But you have free images that you can pull through the here and insert it if you want to. So like, for instance, I say, oh, I think I want to use this picture, and then import it in. And then it'll just add it to your file library, and then you'll be able to insert it into your article. And it's just that simple. And so just think of it kind of like Canva in a way. It's just pieces and parts. You're chunking them together to create your correspondence. Okay. Yay. Alrighty. So each one of these blocks, they are like different layouts. So once I hit the save button, right, they all have their different components, right? So I can come down here. I'm gonna do the same thing. If I click on a block, you have the content, you can edit, and then these are the settings to the content. So for instance, you see how where it says September 1 is a subtitle, and I'm under the content, meaning I can edit the content, right? But if I come over here to settings, then see that subtitle is that red. If I want to change it to a different color, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change it to a different color. I don't know, my colors things are really, I don't know what's going on with my browser, but I can change that color, and then I can make it bold. I can change the font style, all of that. That's in the settings. So you hit that and you save it, and voila, it's done just for there. Okay. And so you can simply just edit all these pieces, or you can come over here to this is a list of all the blocks, or they're also in categories. Okay. So for instance, I might say, oh, I want to add a quiz. Here's the quiz, or I could do a survey. Click and drag it over. And now I have a quiz. And again, click to edit the content. In this case, because it's a survey, it acts a little different. Add the questions, add the rules to the questions, and then again, the settings. So all of this functionality, and then by default, because of the settings that you have when you do your account, it already has my footer as a default. It already has my name, my mailing address, and all that other stuff is already there. My links to my Facebook, my Twitter, and it's fed to forward. And then here's a social media link automatically set up because I have those already set up in the settings. So when you click on here, you're going to automatically see here are all my Facebook links already built in because it's back in the settings and it's set there by default. So you can make it as cute as long as you want. If you want to make it 10 pages, make it 10 pages. Okay. Then what you're able to do here is you could do a quick preview and you can also send a test email to yourself. Whatever email account is on file is the email it's going to send as a test. And then you're just going to see what is this going to look like for the people when they get it. And then before you send it out, you should always try. Also note, this is the desktop version, and this is what people are going to see if they bring it on their cell phone. Okay, checking. Okay, which is also important because 9 times out of 10, where do you look at your mail? On your cell phone. So you might as well make sure it's cell phone friendly. Okay. So you can simply scroll through here, look, and they'll tell you this is how it's going to look, and if you need to make some changes. But most of the time they're pretty good. Okay. And then if you want to, you can also save it as a PDF. Now, the reason for this may be if you wanted to archive or put your newsletter on a web page and have it there as an archive. You could think about doing that. Okay. So again, tweak it as far as you want to go. And then once you're done, you're done. And then hit done editing. And then you're ready to send it. So here it's going to ask you, who are you sending this newsletter to? So you want to pick your group. So you're going to have this master list of subscribers, which is what you're going to see here. And then as time progresses, depending on how they came to be a subscriber, is how you're going to create groups. Okay. So basically like subsets. Okay. And so there could be a mail group for the people who signed up purposely. They filled out the form that says sign up for my newsletter. That's a group. People who signed up for the newsletter. There could be a webinar. People who signed up for the webinar. That's another group. You decide, who do you want this email to go to? You select the group. And then you hit done. And then you can review and confirm. And now you get an overview. Here's the subject line. If you need to edit it, make your edits. Here's your content. You want to check it again, and go back in and edit it. Who is it going to? Need to change it? Fine. Other than that, it's ready to schedule. Okay. You can send it now. You can send it ahead of time, and you can send it for later. You can also send it based on time zone. So if you're working with lots of different people coming in different countries, then you may want to send, I want to send it for 9 o'clock their time if you want to be time zone sensitive. So that's what this is for. And then Google Analytics, once you get your website set up, you're going to want to make sure that you have this turned on. And I always turn on my analytics because I want everything to be tracked. And then you hit ready to send. And I don't want to send anything right now. I can hit my go back. Okay, so that was the down and dirty of creating an email campaign. When it comes to forms, you have, again, that pop-up form where something's going to appear. So I'm just going to quickly show you what that one could look like as far as creating one. So you can have pop-ups, meaning, again, on your particular website, you can have something pop up on a particular page, okay, or a location or a site in the time. An embedded form means that you're creating a form for people to fill out, but it is hard coded to your web page. It's not going to be a pop-up. It's going to be on a space on a page. You decide where it's going to go because you're going to use HTML code and it's going to copy it over to your website. A little bit more involved, but not that hard. And then there are promotions. Again, promotions are kind of like pop-ups. They're going to be there and land and be able to pop up. And it's just another creative way of being able to draw people into your site and get them to connect and give them your email address. They're golden. Email address, golden. That's what you want to do. So here is an example of a pop-up. Can I show one? I want to show you one that's, so when you're going in to create it, I should say, hold on. Let me make sure something's connected here. Okay. And because we're almost out of time. Okay, so here with a pop-up as an example, right? And then you can choose embedded form or promotions from here as well. But if you were to create a pop-up, again, you have templates. You're going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Jump One because I'm going to delete all this in a minute. Okay. And I choose to use pop-ups very strategically. So for instance, if I know I'm going to be running a webinar for a window of time, then I want it to be a pop-up that's going to handle my homepage. If I'm running an email series like I have, I may only want that pop-up to show up only on the blog posts that have a specific topic relevant to that pop-up intentionally because I want them to be a part of some type of an event or a product. So it's very intentional. So it's a marketing strategy. Pop-ups are for marketing. Okay. So again, wait a minute, what did I just do here? My forms. Okay. So again, since it's a form someone's going to fill out, you are telling it, well, how do you want to tag that person once they fill out the form? What group do you want to put them in? You can either put them in the existing group or you can create a new group. Okay. So I would say, well, I'm going to put them in this group. Okay. Or they could be in multiple groups, by the way, so you can tag them more than once. Okay. So I say, okay, I want them to be in that group, and then save and continue. Every form, every pop-up, every landing page has a designated group. That's how you can control your data, by tagging them in the form of a group. So here are templates for your pop-ups. Here's a simple sign-up one. All right, I'm going to select this one. But there's tons of them here. They keep adding in layouts and stuff. And again, they're templates. You can tweak them to make them look however you want. Okay. Just because it says for spa doesn't mean it has to stay the spa. You're just going for the aesthetics. You can make it change however you want. Okay. So I'm going to select that as my form layout that I'm going to use. And then you tweak it just like you did the newsletter. And then you're done. Keep it simple. Don't make it more complicated than it has to be. Okay. Give it a second. Maybe a little longer because it's going through the streaming. It's taking so long. Sorry, guys. Okay. So again, here's your edit that you can start to make the tweaks just like you did in your newsletter, and then you'll be good to go. I'm sure there's more to this, but it's not. Oh, it's taking its sweet time. So again, works the same way, just like the newsletter portion. You just change this picture if you want. You change this text. If you want to add more fields to the field forms, you can. And then here's the thing about pop-ups. There's the pop-up, fill it out, get my discount in this particular case, and then what will they see once they submit and send them your email? Then they get this. Ooh, we just sent you your discount code. Go check your email, right? And then here, once you want to follow us on our social media, you always want to be able to have something additional to while you have their attention. So that's what you get. That's the success form. Again, edit it the way that you like. This picture, by the way, stays the same no matter what. Pop up in the success on the same page, just so you know. Had to learn the hard way. But you have different layouts. So you can go full page. You can go low key, just something low. Let me pull it this way. Sorry. It can look just like this. You can have it in the corner. Layout's a little different. Here's a full page. Or you can do to the side type of thing, depending. You can add pictures and everything else. Again, you have blocks here. You can add more pictures. You can add. So if I wanted to, I said, well, I want to have a picture here in this particular layout. I can do that. I can add my social links here. If I want to, I can have a countdown clock to say, you know what, only good for 10, only going to be good for today only, whatever. I can add that to it. So there's lots of features and functions that you can make this and customize it the way that you want. Once you're done, you hit your next. Then it's a matter of, okay, where is it going to land? And then you tell it how you want it to appear on your website. So forms are only good when you have your website already established, okay? Then you can say, I want to wait 5 minutes before that pop-up shows up, or wait till they scroll down 50% and then it pops up, or show before they leave the page and then it'll pop up. Those are your modalities. Then how often do you want that person to see it? Just once a month because you think you're going to be back in a month? In my case, it's like always show until I sign up. All right. And then you can schedule it. It's going to show immediately. Or if it's a special event, it might only want to do it between October the 1st to October the 15th because it's just relevant for that period of time. And then here's the one that I use mostly. I only want to show it on certain pages. I don't want it popping up on every page on my website. You can specify how you want it to behave. And then you hit save. And then you're done. And then what happens, because I told it what pages I wanted to go to and it's turned on, then when you don't need this part here, this is all Java code stuff. Ignore that. You're not messing with that. Then you're ready to go to your website because it's turned on. Right now it's on pause, but if I turn it on, that pop-up will now behave on my site because that's the reason why you have to connect your website to your account. So that way things like this will happen and work. Okay, that's how it all works. All righty. So that's what works with forms. And then sites are your landing pages. This is my last feature. So I want you to think about anytime you're online and you go to any of the stores and they're featuring a particular offer, this is what that is. A landing page is like an offer page. It's the thing for you to opt into or make a purchase. So here is an opt-in page. I'm going to give you a quick preview of mine. One of the ones I use. So I have an offer for a free planner that's associated with some blog posts that I did on content marketing, right? So here's a layout for that, just like you did for the form, just like you did for the newsletter, very similar in nature. So here, it's not scrolling. Okay, I'll show it in this view. For some reason, it wasn't scrolling right. So here is what it would look like on the cell phone. So this is the product. Here's the text. Here's the email, name and number. I want my free calendar. And then here's some more details. Here's the article associated with it. Read some more to go to my blog. If they don't want the opt-in, they can now have at least the option to read the blog. So that's a landing page. So a landing page or an offer page or opt-in page, it's just that it's a marketing strategy. How can I get that email address? Because that's golden. That's what you want, right? If they trust you enough to give you their email address to you, and then you can start the nurturing process. We talk more about that in a later date. But that's what a landing page is. It's just beautiful, great ways, beautiful templates, great ways for you to utilize it. But the functionality is what's most important. And the thing that there's so much versatility in a free page. Now, here is what I want you to know. You can create a website inside of MailerLite. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can simply create your website right here if you want to. Because just like a landing page, you can create a web page. And they have all the functionality that's there. So that might be something else that you will be interested in doing. But you have to have that domain name established. And that's what they are looking for when they're doing that confirmation. So we can circle back when you're ready and you have your business name down pat, and we take you back through on going through those domains. You're picking out your domain and name and all that other stuff that kind of goes along with it. So that is that. I'm going to stop sharing, and I hope you found that to be helpful. Again, you don't have to use MailerLite, but I strongly suggest it because it's free and it doesn't hurt to have. But you are definitely going to need to have an email automation system for your business. Local, online, product, service, doesn't matter. You got to have one. So if this will hopefully give you at least something in your head to start really thinking about, I hope that that's what it did for you today. I want your head to start spinning. All righty. So any questions? Anything that I didn't cover already within those ABCs, let me know. So you've got appointment with appointee, you've got bookkeeping with Waves, and you've got communicating with MailerLite. 3 cool tools, the first set of ABCs for your biz. I hope you found this training session to be helpful. I'm going to plug in 3 more tools for you on Thursday. Oh, yeah. We're going to be talking more about you and communicating and blogging. Heads up, that's the cool tools for Thursday. I hope you can join me. But if not, don't hesitate. Don't worry. I am simply wanting to just give you more value and add more things for you to work around. So if you can't make the live session on Thursday night, I totally understand. But if you can, confirm inside of the group. I will be posting it up there. But on Thursday, I'm going to be going over your About Me page, About You page for your webpage, because that's critical, and wanted to make sure that your story is starting to get shaped out, okay? And then because now that you have a story and you have your About page, you have to start thinking about how are you going to start connecting with your customers. And the best way to do that in marketing is content marketing. And first thing that you can start doing in content marketing is a blog. And we're going to just talk about some basics on blogging, some of the benefits, what you may want to consider. Look at my comments here. Okay, if you missed out a lot on the accounting, on the appointee, no worries. Yeah, it's there. And again, you're not gonna. There's videos there inside of the account as well. But yeah, you can always circle back into the videos up inside of the Facebook group as well. Okay. So yeah, so Thursday coming up, we're going to be doing about you, your expertise, and setting up your story, business story for you. We're going to go over blogging, and we're going to go over connecting, social media. Whoop, whoop. All right. Thank you, guys. I hope that you found this again to be helpful. It was great to see you all again today. And let's get busy.